Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I'm not here with Geeky Sparkles. So we're going to talk about video games. We're going to talk about Godot Engine, this controversy. I'm trying to make some sense of it. It's been going on for a couple of days now. The Godot Foundation apparently does not want you using their stuff unless you're quote-unquote woke enough to use it. And they're purging people who aren't on board with the quote-unquote woke train, the thought process, all of that. This is not a good look, guys. This is 2024. It's not 2017. A lot of companies are actively eschewing this ideology because it hits them in the wallet, even if they personally believe all of the quote-unquote woke talking points. They're not broadcasting it like they were. But yeah, this particular company, foundation, the Godot Foundation, is out there loud and proud about their wokeness, and it's going to cost them. And it's apparently they're digging themselves a pretty deep hole. So we're going to talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We have a sponsor for this video, and given what we're talking about, I think you might be interested in hearing from them, so stick around. Anyone who's been following our channel for any length of time has noticed that the media doesn't seem to think too highly of traditionally masculine men in gaming and other pop culture spaces. In fact, manly men are often labeled as being misogynists or sexists or even homophobes. Beyond the media's discouragement of traditionally masculine men, could chemicals from plastics, junk food, and our increasingly sedentary lifestyles be helping to create a generation of less masculine men? Could men be getting less manly simply from living in our modern world? I'll leave that for the experts to sort out, as I'm just a YouTube commentator, but it is provable that testosterone levels have been declining for decades, with a 17% drop among 60-year-olds in 2004 compared to 1987. Sperm count and strength in men are also decreasing exponentially, with a 32.5% decrease in mean sperm concentration in the last 50 years, and a striking reduction in grip strength among young men compared to 30 years ago. Some researchers call these changes alarming from an evolutionary point of view. But don't worry, there is hope. The Black Forest Terkesterone with Tongkat Ali limited edition supplement has been dubbed a feminization killer, since it combines two of the most potent natural testosterone boosters in the market. Terkesterone is a natural anabolic compound that supports muscle growth, improves endurance, and boosts testosterone levels. You'll get a good grip from that. Now, Tongkat Ali is an ancient, potent natural herb that has been used for thousands of years to increase testosterone levels, improve libido, and reduce stress levels. Again, this is natural. Guys, this supplement is an amazing natural way of boosting your testosterone to exorbitant levels, and it may be just what you need in order to reclaim your masculinity. Black Forest has said that since this product is a limited edition, once it goes out of stock, it's going to be out of stock forever. So make sure you purchase yours as soon as possible. Black Forest Supplements is a brand dedicated to bringing traditional masculinity and femininity back, fighting hard, there's a joke in there, to bring back what's been lost. So if you want to take control of your health and your life, check out Black Forest Supplements. Don't let anyone tell you that being strong and confident is a bad thing. It's what nature intended for you. And by supporting my sponsors, you support me directly. Hurry up and take advantage of this amazing 48-hour promo and support us alongside this amazing brand that is Terkesterone with Tongkat Ali, the feminization killer. That's what we're calling it. Buy two, get one free, 48 hours. Go to blackforestsupplements.com/clownfish. Let's get back into this video. So let's see if we can make sense of what this is. The Godot game engine is an open source, free and open source game engine released under the permissive MIT license. There are some games that are pretty notable that have used it. Now, I am not a video game developer, but some of these games I have heard of. We have, let's see, the Commander Keen and Keen Dreams. We have Sonic Colors Ultimate. So we had Sonic Team using it. We have Brotato. We have Cassette Beasts, which I love Cassette Beasts. I'm surprised they haven't been sued by Nintendo yet. Slay the Spire 2. You know, there are a bunch of games that have come out in recent years using this engine. So that's kind of the bird's eye view, right? I mean, I'm not going to pretend to know everything about this engine, as I personally do not develop video games. I found this post out on Locals, actually. Lunduke, thank you for that. He is basically encapsulating everything that is going on with it in a more easily digestible format here. He said, Godot Game Engine enacts mass cleansing of non-woke supporters. Those who suggest Godot focus on software are labeled filth of humanity and toxic pieces of censored. Yeah, so they went on a banning spree, I guess. And they were, I did see some tweets that they were basically like, hey, we love our woke games. Link to your woke games down here, you toxic chuds. We're going to ban you. It's so ridiculous. So they said the NixOS Linux project recently enacted their self-proclaimed purge of people who they labeled as Nazis, but who were in fact simply not leftists. So he has another post out here. This is for Linux, right? The OpenSUSE Linux distribution mass banned and labeled as rotten flesh anyone who failed to enthusiastically wave the pride flag. Python, Elementary, GNOME, and more have all been committing mass bannings of those who they view as having politically wrong ideals. Now, Godot, the extremely popular open source video game development engine, has succumbed to the disease. Let the cleansing begin. Yeah, I did see this. This was a couple of days ago, and I'm like, this is not something you want to broadcast, right? Over the past 2 days, a huge number of Godot users, developers, and even financial supporters have been banned for suggesting that Godot, a piece of software, should be focused on software instead of politics. I 100% agree. Like, you can have individuals working for companies that espouse certain political beliefs, and they can even be very vocal about those beliefs, but I do not believe they should be using the official company account to broadcast their personal political beliefs. And this happens all the time with community managers and PR managers and social media managers. They get the keys to the candy store and then they just start tweeting up a storm about their own personal beliefs, when the company, every company, should be apolitical. And I'm even going to apply that to the right too. Like, I understand the founder of Sticker Mule having the opinions he has, but I don't think the official Sticker Mule account should be talking politics. But I think they have been, and I think it's kind of weird. Just like, push that over to your own personal account. Say, hey, these are my opinions. They do not reflect the opinions of the entire company, and just carry on, right? And people are going to agree or disagree or whatever. But when you have a lot of people working for you, working with you, I think you need to separate yourself from it a little bit. But current year, people don't understand that. But again, did they not get the memo? This is really falling out of vogue. People are tired of it. Anyway, back to Lunduke's, I hope that's correct, Lunduke's post here. This was in response to a post on the official Godot X account stating, apparently game engines are woke now. Well, then we won't complain. Show us your Wokot games below. Woko games? Oh my God. From that point on, bannings appear to occur quickly and in large numbers. These bannings have occurred across every platform where Godot operates, including X, Discord, and even GitHub. You've been blocked from the organization on GitHub. Yes, developers are being banned from the Godot source code repository on GitHub for the crime of either having the wrong political ideas or for suggesting that Godot should focus on software. You can even agree with somebody. That's the thing. You can agree with somebody and say, hey, yeah, I agree with you, but you know what? Can we just get back to coding? Can we get back to the software? Can we get back to selling the thing? Can we get back to talking about the game itself or the movie itself or the comic books or whatever, and not make every conversation hyper political? I mean, ever since 2016, like, everything has been broken. You know, everybody wants to use whatever platform they have for change, to do an activism. You can do that in your free time. You can do it outside of work. And again, I'm applying that to the right too. I mean, mostly it has been people on the left that have been using these platforms to push their political ideology, using company social media accounts or whatever to push political ideology. And I'm going to apply it to the right too. If you're saying you want apolitical stuff, then yeah, I don't think the official account of whatever company should be openly supporting Trump either. I mean, I'm just saying, if we're gonna apply it evenly, we're gonna have to just say, hey, you keep the politics off of the official company social media accounts. It's my personal opinion. Yeah, even if those statements were made on personal accounts on different online platforms, they would get banned. The mass bannings have been issued for offenses even as simply as literally quoting the creator of Godot. Yeah, this person said, I deeply believe that any political discussion that puts labels to a group of people is one that should not have started. That's a creator, apparently. And they got blocked for that. It's amazing how far these companies tend to fall from their original guiding principles, right? The founders a lot of times have very different ideology than where the companies ultimately go. I mean, again, we talk so much about Disney because Disney, you know, we've worked in and around the company for years, but the company actually did mean a lot to us. And you see how far they've fallen from, you know, what Walt would have wanted. And we see this time and time again. Anyway, in a particularly peculiar move, a titanium level financial supporter of Godot was blocked during this mass banning campaign. Oh, that's an oopsie-doopsie. One Godot fan and vocal supporter of the bannings positively referred to these actions as cleansing, giving utter respect to Godot for cleansing the community, says Toad VTuber. Cleansing the community. There's so many hidden replies to this, I can't even block them all. Utter respect to Godot for cleansing their community to include the most inclusive people and making the rest of them seethe. Laughing my ass off. I bet the social media manager is sitting back chuckling at all of them. Yeah, well, that's usually what happens. You get like a rogue community manager, social media manager, and they go on a banning spree. And it hurts everybody. This mass cleansing across all official Godot platforms appears to be spearheaded by an individual named Nat, who, no offense to Nat, she, they, but this is exactly what I would expect. You know, I'm looking at Nat and I'm like, this is exactly smarmy gender studies major who got the keys to the social media account and is pushing she, they, them's ideology off onto everybody else. And I have a hard time believing Nat does much coding she, they themselves. I'm even confused by this. She describes herself as working in the community and communications with Godot. She also describes herself as obnoxiously queer. Well, you've got that first part right. After the mass cleansing, the creator of Godot replied to questions regarding the bannings. This is the creator of Godot, the founder, if you would. If you behave properly, you should not be banned no matter what your political bias is. Correct. Nobody has been instructed to ban people for who they follow or what they post in public. Correct. Sure, if you go in and register in the forums in your bio, write that your gender is attack helicopter. If you make any harassment or discrimination, that'd be an instant ban. But that's your pinned message and should be unrelated. Yeah, so this is the thing too. Like a lot of times people will go into communities and deliberately cause problems on both sides of the aisle. And I think if you're an asshole, then yeah, I think you should get banned. And I don't think it's discrimination if you are behaving like an asshole. If you go into a forum and you're like, hey, we're going to leave the politics at the door. We're just going to talk about software development and we're going to be respectful of people and, and not turn everything into a political flame war, one side or the other, then that's cool. Again, there's a time and a place for politics. It's not in the developer forum. And this is the creator, apparently, Juan, saying, don't do this. So what is this community manager doing? Just, again, this needs to stop. Like these video game companies, you're losing so much money these studios, because people look at the asshat behavior of your community managers and your PR managers and your social media managers and maybe a couple of people that are associated with production or whatever, and they run at the fucking mouth and they cost you hundreds of millions of dollars. I mean, you've got them out there banning financial backers, right? Like titanium level. I don't know what they pay per month or whatever it is, but I'm like, that's not a good look. That's really not good. So Lunduke goes on to compile more drama. Xananax, he, him, if you have no right of speech here because I consider your speech to be toxic vomit. If you think inviting queer people to share their games is politics, you're a toxic piece of fuck, an evil human. And I want you to feel disrespected and to fuck off as fast as you can. What is a toxic piece of fuck? Is that like somebody that has a venereal disease? I don't understand. What the hell is a toxic piece of fuck? I love how a lot of these terminally online people come up with this language that nobody would use in the real world, and you'd feel absolutely ridiculous like saying this to somebody's face. It just like, you would never walk up to somebody on the street and be like, you're a toxic piece of fuck. Because that'd be like, what the hell does that even mean? Anyway, he, him continues. The drama isn't created by Godot, who just made a nice tweet to surface cool indie games. The drama is created by reactionary, insecure cowards. Well, they're not the ones that are banning people, right? Left and right, who have nothing better to do in their day than to shit on something they're unconcerned with. They even feel persecuted because other people exist and are visible. This is always the excuse. A lot of times the criticism, look, sometimes the criticism, they do take it too far. And sometimes it is basically, we're just attacking queer people or black people or whatever. And some people are I believe, using the culture war just to be able to vent against certain groups of people that they don't like, right? The vast, vast, vast majority of people are just tired of this shit. And a lot of times they form a victim mentality before there's any reason to do so, which actually does not help your case any, right? Because now people, every time there's drama, they're like, oh God, here we go again. How many pronouns in their bio and what color is their hair? I mean, even I did with this, like, oh, Nat looks exactly like I would think Nat would look, because you just kind of come to just expect a certain type of person. Not that there's anything wrong with that, to quote Seinfeld, right? But people have gotten tired of it, and it does tend to be a lot of groups that claim to be marginalized going out there and whacking the beehive and then crying when they get stung, right? They deliberately do it. Because it's the cry bully technique, right? I'm gonna pull your pigtails. I'm sitting behind you in class. I'm gonna keep pulling your pigtails and keep pulling your pigtails, and then you're gonna turn around and smack me. But the teacher's only gonna see you smack me, and then the teacher's gonna make you stand in the corner. And that's what they do, because they know how to play this game. We're the victims. We're the victims. Oh, look at these mean people attacking us. Oh no, not. And a lot of people who aren't paying attention aren't seeing that. No. You set this scenario up because you want to stick it to them, right? And I've seen this time and time again. And they always go out of their way to antagonize. I mean, God, we've had so much shit over the years, and there's usually something else behind it. It's not just like, there are some toxic people in this community or whatever. It's usually like, we don't like this particular person or this particular group of people, so we're going to go out of our way to antagonize them. And then when they hit back, we're going to cry victim. And we've been on the receiving end of that. We've left people alone for the most part. And if anybody actually like watches our videos, we've left people alone for the most part. I try not to, unless somebody's a real piece of shit, I try not to call individual people out too much. And I don't think if anybody's actually watched our videos, I don't think we've made any videos that would be considered anti-LGBTQ plus or anything like that. It's just that we get tired of the activists. Like, I don't care who you sleep with. I don't care what you identify as. I don't care. But there's a certain type when it comes to these activists, and everything is a microaggression. Everything is a grievance. Everything is, these people are attacking us, but you were going out of your way to antagonize them first. You can't tell me that initial tweet that from the official account wasn't designed to antagonize people, because they always say, oh, this will make the right people angry. And the right people are the people I don't like. So now that I'm in this position, I'm the community manager, I'm the social media manager, and I have a chip on my shoulder from, and it may be warranted, maybe years of people, making fun of you, bullying you, whatever. I mean, I get it. Trust me. When I was a little kid, I used to get beat up. I learned to hit back, and I had a chip on my shoulder for years. So I do get it. I do get it. But at some point, you gotta ask yourself, did I become the bad guy? And they never have that moment of clarity. Like, shit, I've actually become the villain. I'm the villain. So this person goes on, for me, the only problem with this tweet is that it doesn't happen every day. So more of these imbeciles can be banned. They should be doing these tweets every 30 minutes. And anyone who has a problem with them can fuck off to oblivion and then fuck off some more. Fuck off 3,000. That sounds like a very dirty convention. Hey, everybody, come to fuck off 3,000. And anyone having any slight issue with it here can fuck off too. Oh my God. There will be no more drama the day those drama queens stop getting their panties in a knot around anything that doesn't concern them. See something that doesn't concern you in any way, just do your best, be a normal human being about it, and there will be no drama. Say anything. Even say, hey, why are we making this political? Or, hey, why are, you know what I'm saying? And you get banned too. Say, hey, I don't think Disney Star Wars is very good for XYZ reason. Oh, you must be a bigot and a homophobe and probably a Nazi. It's so fucking stupid. All of this is stupid. So here's their official response to it. About the current situation, Godot Foundation. On Friday, we made a tweet that unexpectedly led to a wave of harassment directed at our staff and community. No, she, they, them knew exactly what they were doing. Exactly. And it isn't convenient. It's a Friday. We wait until Friday when most people aren't really paying attention, and then we just drop this. Same thing happened with the Gina Carano Star Wars situation. I believe it was a rogue community manager at Lucasfilm that was just like, the hate speech and vile, and we don't work with her anymore. And they could have just said, hey, no comment, contact our PR department. We don't know what the future of Star Wars is, but currently she's not scheduled for anything. But no. They have the keys to the candy store. They have the power. They're activists. That's all they care about. They want the megaphone. That's it. That's all they care about. We condemn this abuse. The volume of negative engagement overwhelmed our moderation efforts. Well, then don't say something that was designed to inflame people. It was designed to inflame people. And she, they, them knew exactly what she, they, them was doing. While attempting to protect the Godot community, we mistakenly blocked individuals who were not participating in the harassment. The Godot Foundation Board takes full responsibility for these moderation actions. If you believe you were blocked in error and have not violated our code of conduct, please contact us in the form linked below. We are committed to swiftly rectifying any mistakes. We firmly stand by our mission to keep our community spaces free from hate, discrimination, and other toxic behaviors. Just be software. You know what? Just be software. And look, people are more than free to make whatever the hell kind of game they want to make, right? But these activists, they started. Look, we've been covering this stuff for like 6 or 7 years now. We've been doing this for a long time. And I'm not saying, sometimes people are just minding their own business. Sometimes, and I will be honest. Sometimes people, I believe, unfairly target minorities or gay people or whatever, just because they're like, oh, of course we got, another lesbian in a movie or what, I'm saying. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about this antagonistic behavior in gaming spaces, especially, right? Where they go out of their way, and I've seen it in tabletop. It happens so often in tabletop. They say something deliberately inflammatory, and then they cry about it when they get busted. And then management has to put out the fires. Here's a suggestion: vet the people that you give access to your social media accounts. Vet them better, right? Give them like a psych test or something. Be like, yeah, can I trust you with the password to our Twitter account? Or are you going to go out there on a Friday afternoon and cause us all kinds of problems? Because invariably what happens is people don't forget, especially on the internet, especially when you're dealing with an internet thing. You're dealing with software developers, right? They don't forget. They walk away. They're like, you know what? There are other game engines out there. Or we'll just make our own. We don't have to use you. And if you're going to behave like this, we don't have to use you. On community moderator Xananax, so this was a mod that said that dumb shit. We strongly condemn the harmful language used by Xananax, a moderator of an unofficial Godot-related Discord server. I want to clarify that Xananax is not hired by nor a spokesperson for the Godot Foundation. Boy, isn't that a kick in the nuts and or other genitalia there, Xananax, that Godot is slapping you publicly, slapping you down. And this is what you spend all your time on their Discord or on another Discord talking about this game engine, and they just like bitch slapped you. As an organization, we have our own official Discord server moderated together with new volunteers vetted by our team. That's their official statement, right? So here are some of the quotes. T-Pulp says they accept no responsibility for what happens on the unofficial Discord server that they promote on their website. It says Xananax invited you. If you click it, it's not on people to request unbanning. Your CM failed you, and you put the onus on users. We're not idiots. That's true. That's 100% true. And you can't tell me that this is a one-off. I don't believe for a minute it's a one-off. I think that people like this, they have a pattern of behavior, and especially Discord mods, Reddit mods, they get on a major power trip, right? And if you are a corporation or a company or whatever kind of company you are, or organization, and you notice this behavior, you need to get rid of them because they're going to become a liability at some point in time. And they're doing it to, they're going to say they're doing it for your honor. They're doing it to help, but in reality, they're doing it for themselves. They want the power. They want the influence. And this is how these people get into these spaces to begin with. This is how they all got into it. They started out a lot of times as community managers or social media managers or volunteers. And then they worm their way into the system. And the next thing you know, they're calling the shots, they're trying to call the shots, and they got friends in the media, and they all collude together to take out people that they don't like. Eventually you wind up with Sweet Baby Inc. You know, that's where the end game is. You wind up with Sweet Baby Inc., where these people really don't have any ability whatsoever to make games, but they want to be the people that decide what gets made and what doesn't get made and who gets booted from the industry. Right? Purple Gold says, hilarious. Nothing is their fault. They're the victims. No apology, just deflection and doubling down. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Yeah. Gormy says, intentionally make hyper-inflammatory statement. Know full well what kind of attention it's going to draw. Lie about it. Pretend you're the victim. A tale as old as wokeness itself. This is a very 2017 take from them. Like, I don't think they've gotten the memo yet. It's over. Like this whole era, this whole DEI fever dream that we've been living in for the last 8 years, it is ending. And I think the community managers, the social media managers know that it's ending. I mean, geez, we did a video a couple days ago talking about Gen Con. They're actually throwing activists out on their ears because they're demanding and petulant. And apparently there was some question as to how they're spending the money or whatever, but it is changing. Everything's changing. Just don't be an asshole. And assholes come in all genders, all colors, all races, all sexual orientations. Just don't be an asshole and you won't get banned. There's the final nail in Godot's coffin. They take no accountability for putting out a divisive tweet and then pretend they're the victim. Yeah, they didn't say anything about their community manager, right? Like, hey, yeah, our community manager did not speak for the rest of the organization. We're going to throw this guy that doesn't work for us under the bus. Was this Godot Engine? Oh, that's interesting. Fork of Godot Engine. So yeah, this is open source. So yeah, one absolute dog shit response, completely misstating the actual situation in an attempt to not accept responsibility for fucking up, says Ditch Digger. Cobus Grayling says dodging accountability. You ban people for quoting the Godot creator. You ban people for asking you to work on features. Who could possibly believe you defensively ban people due to harassment when you offensively banned anyone, some who didn't even disagree with you? Complete non-apology. A wave of harassment. Fuck off. Wow, this is not going well, guys. This is not going well. They turned the replies off, but the quote retweets or something. You hired a community manager with a rice paper thin skin who turned your company into their personal soapbox. Fire the asshat and apologize. Yeah. I can feel the soy coming from this response, says Fun Noober. It was not a wave of harassment directed at your staff and community. It was the community telling you to keep your politics off the official Twitter X account. Yeah, I agree 100%. And instead focus on the engine projects made with it. Yeah, no, I agree. Grums has a post up. Godot has released a statement. It was not a tweet that led to the explosion of comments. While it has replies, it was not a firestorm. They created that on their own. It was their own actions by going on a reply, hiding, and blocking spree that was out of control. They blocked anyone, platinum level devs too, just for questioning the blocking, the vast majority of which did not violate their code of conduct. They simply asked Godot to focus on games and get out of politics. Yes. And you can make any kind of game you want to. You want to make, like I said, I always go back to Thirsty Sword Lesbians because it has a definite audience that's not me. You want to make Thirsty Sword Lesbians as a video game with this engine, that's cool. You do you, boo, right? But don't be like, and anybody who doesn't play Thirsty Sword Lesbians is a toxic bigot. And on the other side, like they want to make Thirsty Sword Lesbians and they're not taking an existing game and turning it into Thirsty Sword Lesbians and it has no effect on you. You let them make the game. Whatever. That's, whatever. It doesn't affect you. And just don't act like assholes to each other. I mean, why is this so fucking hard? Why do we have to teach adults how to be adults? I don't understand this. I don't understand. I don't know where this mentality came from. College. I think it came from college. Because my son's in school now and I'm hearing stories of some of the shit that they're teaching. And it's like, what? Like none of this works in the real world. But so yeah, Godot is gaslighting the community. These blocks were not in error. There are hundreds, maybe thousands of blocks. It was a wild knee-jerk reaction. The statement shows a tone-deaf and antagonistic view of the situation, which is entirely their fault. Open source should be open to all, yeah. Well, that's okay. Somebody else will do it too, right? Somebody else will do it, and they'll just be like, let's just focus on the software and making games and shut the fuck up about everything else. Gonna wrap it up. Please subscribe. We'll talk later. Join the reef. Go to clownfish-.com. That's clownfish-.com. You will get exclusive access to podcasts and videos and comic strips and more, as well as merch discounts. Check it out. If you were a member, you could get this t-shirt, this dismal t-shirt on our website. You'd get a 10% discount on that. You can also join in the community on clownfish-.com. Thank you so much for the support.